Welcome to the Employment Wednesday podcast with Yvonne Shabangu. Have you heard of the scripture Hosea 4 verse 6? My people perish because of the lack of knowledge. The same applies to your career. When you don't know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you are likely to make wrong career choices. But worry not. Employment Wednesdays is here for you to offer you all the answers relating to your career and offer you strategies to develop your career. Enjoy. Hi, everyone. You are welcome back to another episode of Law Without Borders with Yvonne Princess Shabangu. And today I'm seated with a guest, one of my faves. I'm seated with Ndanganeni Matsheketsheke. Yes, I will pronounce my surname because yes.
I know, right?
So I'm seated with Ndanga. She is an admitted attorney by profession, and she studied at the University of Johannesburg, and she recently mastered in labor law.
Yes,
Congratulations.
labor law. Thank you.
Bayafunda mantombazana. And then she's currently practicing in-house. So she's not practicing as an attorney, but she's currently in-house. With one of the biggest companies in South Africa, and that's on par, darling. And before we go into it, maybe say something brief that I may have missed in your introduction.
I don't think you missed anything. Well, my name is Ndanga, like you said. Ndanganeni, but I prefer Ndanga because people butcher my full name, shame. So Ndanga it is. And yeah, I'm an LLB graduate from UJ. Recently completed my master's.
Okay.
And I'm a legal and compliance officer at, like you said, one of the biggest companies.
All right. Love that. So let's go into our icebreaker questions. What was your first job?
My first job was work. I don't know if that counts as a job.
Okay, that was like your first ever time doing a job where you paid for?
Where
Okay.
I have to like wake up, dress up, and go into an office.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
so
year
that's-
was this and how much were you paid?
This was 20. I was in second year, I think.
Okay.
Second or third.
All right.
So 2018 or 2017. And I was paid like 5,000.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
For how many weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you were a drink, what would you be?
A drink.
Ungathi savana.
No.
Ngoba ngizovele ngidakwe manje.
No, I'd be a margarita.
A margarita.
Yeah.
Why margarita?
Because it's sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour.
I think I'm both sweet and sour.
Okay. Oh, sour.
Yeah,
okay.
but that side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your holiday destination? What's that one country that you really want to go to? Like if you were to win lotto and you're on unlimited budget, where are you going to?
Paris.
Paris.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
love
Why Paris?
I just love it. I think it's got life. Well,
Okay.
from the pictures, because never been there.
Okay.
But yeah, from what I see on social media and just other people's content, it looks very fascinating and yeah.
Okay. So why did you study law?
Yeah, yes, with me, like there's nothing really, deep and all that. So I wanted to be an accountant.
Okay.
And
nice.
then-
What a transition. What
I know,
happened?
right? So
We're not failing it.
Yes,
Are you for
exactly
real?
that. Yeah.
So we are the last option. Our industry was like another one.
Yeah, because maths was not matching.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, then LLB it is. There's
Okay.
really nothing deep about it.
Was it
honestly.
your second option?
Yeah, it was my second option.
Okay, so then how did it make you feel now your maths is not mathing and you have to study law? Weren't you like hurt to say, no, I'm not going to be an accountant? Didn't you think about pursuing it later on? Why feel like, let me opt for my second option? Because other people are like, you know what, I'm going back and going to upgrade and I'll come back and be CASA.
No, I mean, I don't think it had me because I saw very early.
Abafana.
Sorry. I know, right? I'm so sorry. I don't think it had me because I realized very early that I'm not good in maths. So then I have to find a second option. If maybe I had already, started studying towards being a CA, maybe it could have been different.
Okay.
But I had not even started.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just something that I wanted to do after my metric. So yeah, I didn't really know.
Okay.
And I was happy doing my LLB, so
Okay,
yeah.
so you came to law for vibes. Nothing about, I want to change the world.
No, none of that, honey. No, none of that.
Okay.
No.
So were you put on provisional? Because I know UJ sometimes puts people on waiting lists and all of that. Were you on waiting list, or you just went in for your second option?
So what happened is I realized while I was still in high school that the maths is not matching.
Okay.
So I changed from pure maths to maths literacy.
Oh, but you
in
and I are
grade
the same. I also
12.
I changed in, I also changed in grade 12.
Yeah. So when I applied at UJ, I had already seen that, maths is not matching. And I think one of the requirements to be admitted into BCom, I think it's called BCom accounting,
Sure.
is that you need to have, I think it was 50% at the time, mathematics, and I didn't have maths.
Huh?
So then I just...
So you didn't have your 50? Where
No,
were you? You had
I
nothing.
was failing. Like total from grade 10 up until grade 11, I was
It
failing
was not
maths.
happening.
Not even 40, 30s, 20s.
Oh,
It
okay.
was so bad.
Okay. So then what gave you a rude awakening? Like, because if you only changed in grade 12, which means you still had hope.
Grade 10, I saw that, it's not. Then I thought, okay, grade 11, maybe it's going to get better. But then grade 11, I get my final results. I'm like, this is not it. And I think at that time, I already knew that one of the requirements to be admitted into studying accounting is that you need to have a certain percentage of maths. And I was just not, I was not reaching that percentage. So I then decided, this is...
All right. But you know what I love? No matter, there's certain seasons in our lives where we fail and all of that, right? But sometimes it's okay that we failed, because I'm imagining your life could have been completely different. And probably you and I would have not met. And probably you're not on Employment Wednesdays if you didn't study law. So sometimes failure is good. There's something that I think one of my guests once said it, to say it's okay to get rejections. It's okay to fail. If you're not failing, you're not growing. If you're not getting rejected, you are not growing. So I think it's a beautiful thing that you actually didn't just say, oh my God, all I want is accounting. You were able to opt for LLB. Okay, now Utseni, how was your first experience of your LLB now that you're inside? How did you find it?
It was, first day was kind of hard. Like the transition from high school to varsity. And also I was staying at home throughout my high school years.
Okay.
So I'm at home with parents, with siblings, and now I have to come this side where I'm staying at rest. I'm all alone. I have to figure things out by myself.
Sure.
No one is telling you, hey, did you study? You just have to make sure that you being responsible and all that. So first year for me was kind of hectic, but I managed to pass all my modules and I made it. But it was not easy.
It wasn't
Even
easy.
my first year marks.
You can say they're dipping. It's not make-sure.
It's not make-sure.
Okay.
But they were not bad. But I know my abilities. And
yes. Okay.
So I could see that.
Okay.
But I think for me, the hardest thing was just that transition from, being at home to now being alone, having to do everything for yourself, by yourself. It kind of...
I always say to people, okay, I looked at it from Article's perspective that moving from uni to Articles was disruptive. But now that you explain the whole thing of saying, I now had to do stuff on my own. Nobody was telling me to study. Nobody was telling me to do anything. It actually shows that also it is important that we have support from high school into university, because sometimes I feel like sometimes parents do send kids to university and feel like, you are a grown up now, or they don't provide enough support, because that process is disruptive. Because I can imagine you're trying to get good grades, you're trying to create a smaller home for yourself at rest, you're trying to not be with bad company and all of that. It can be very tricky. And then, okay, when was the first time you knew that you needed to do articles and all of that stuff?
It was... I didn't know about articles and everything before. Upon applying for LLB.
For LLB, okay.
Yeah, when I applied, I just knew LLB, you're going to be a lawyer.
We all think that, don't we?
You're
going to be fighting battles,
wearing your robe. And so I didn't know about the whole articles, board exams and all that. So the first time I heard about articles, it was when, I don't remember if it was first or second year, but at UJ, we used to have this career, I think they are called career fairs, where law firms would come on campus and then they would just engage with students.
Okay.
So that's the first time
You heard about
I heard
articles.
about doing articles. And yeah, I got a shock.
You're like, oh, what's going on?
Huh?
I thought it's just
I
4
thought,
years.
4
Okay.
years, and then you're there doing the things. They're like, no,
doesn't
girl,
work like
it doesn't
that.
work like that. You have to first do. No, actually, it was first year. I remember now. It was first year, and I went to the Cliff Decker thingy that they had there, and that's when the lady was explaining, oh, you have to do articles, and also because. I remember because at the time I was also looking for a bursary, so I went to Cliff Decker asking for bursary, and that's when the lady
They told you about
explained
articles as well.
and work and all. Yeah,
All right. Okay. Then you started applying for your work and articles and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then was that process easy? How did you find that process
Of applying for
articles
and work.
Yes.
It wasn't easy, honestly, because first of all, you don't exactly know where am I applying, what am I applying for, what is the procedure. I mean, the career fairs are there, but there's only so much that they can tell you or they can assist you with. Everything else, you just have to take it upon yourself,
Sure.
So it was not really challenging, but also I think it's just the fact that you've got to figure things out by yourself. You've got to be doing everything by yourself, and also making sure that your studies are not, being affected by.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was not really challenging, but yeah.
Okay. Where did you start applying? Like, what portals were you using to apply for articles? Like
So
LinkedIn, Indeed, where were you applying?
no, I didn't even know about LinkedIn at that
Okay.
point. I just applied at the law firms that were at the career fair.
Okay, so
'Cause
basically
then-
your big five.
Yes, the big five. That's where I started applying because they came and they gave us information. So the information that I had was the information that I got from the firms
Okay.
when they came at the career fair. So I only applied at the firms that were there because they gave us those information.
So then when did you finally get signed where you're like, oh, like it's in?
It was really late years because I got a work and then and they didn't take me for articles.
Where did you do your work?
I did my work at Cliff Decker,
Nice.
and then the second one was the firm that now took me for articles.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did my first work, and then they were like, "No, girl,
Not you.
not you." Yeah. And then the second one I did at the firm where I now did my articles, and that was only in third year.
Okay, third year.
Yeah.
So that's when you got signed in third year, or in third year you did work there.
I did work, my first work in third year, and then I did my second one. No, I did my first one in second year, and then I did my second one in third year, where now I got signed. So second year I did the first work. They didn't take me in for articles, and then third year I was applying, and then I applied at this firm. And then I went to do my work. It was in June, and then after that they called me in back for an articles interview.
Okay.
And then, I was able
So
to
that
get
particular firm, because I'm not sure, was it at Career Fair? Because I know like it's medium size, ne?
it. Medium. No, it
But
was
it wasn't at Career Fair.
No,
Yes.
it wasn't.
How did you find it? Because also it's situation. If you're man, you must have been hustling.
Listen. You know what I did? So I follow I'm forgetting his name, but there's a guy who used to act on Skim Sam.
Okay.
I used to follow him on Instagram. Well, I still follow him on Instagram. And then this one time he posted a picture with this man, and then he wrote a caption, something about this lawyer helped me.
Okay.
Da, 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 da. And then the lawyer was tagged in that post. I went onto the lawyer's
DMs.
I slide, girl.
Guys, you're busy sliding from Jolo. People are sliding for job opportunities.
I was like, let me slide.
Okay.
And then I slide into his DM. I introduced myself. I'm a third year LLB student. Can I come do work, with the hope of being signed for articles? And lucky enough, he replied.
Nice.
He
And he
replied
does
to my
seem like a
DM.
nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. So he replied, he said, hi, can you please send me your CV? This is my email address. I sent my CV, and then he replied. He said, I'll get back to you. I think after like 4 or 5 days, he then sent me an email inviting me for an interview.
That is so nice.
I know,
That is
right?
so nice.
Yeah.
You're basically a career Riz. Angazi better my 2K, they call it Riz.
Yeah.
So
I risked my way
yes, you
into
risked your way into
articles, girl.
articles. That is so smooth. That
Yeah.
is so nice.
Yeah.
So I would say to people at home that it's important that you're creative in your ways of trying to secure an opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't always go for the traditional way, which is, oh, okay, I'm waiting for applications to go out or whatever.
True.
Because chances are they may have not been looking, but
Exactly.
because you slid in and you showed interest, then they were able to offer you something.
Yeah.
You were willing. So it's important to step up if you want to level up in your career.
True.
Okay.
Also, with me, it was because I was applying. I mean, this was third year. Now we knew most of the firms. You know the process. You know what to do. I was applying and I was
Sure.
not getting anything.
Yes.
So then I was like, I
had
need
to be creative.
Plan B. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, also if you're following, I know there's corporate attorney baddies on Instagram. If you're following them, they have their own law firms. Slide in the DMs and say, hi, I'll come volunteer or something. Because I know they're
Exactly.
really nice people
Yeah.
out there who are willing to assist wherever they can. Because also
Yeah.
they do understand that getting articles is now hard. Like, you know.
It is. And also, if I can just mention, you just mentioned volunteering now. When I went to do my interview for work, he said, my principal said, I don't have money to pay you.
Oh, okay.
And then I said, dude, it's fine.
Oh, that's nice. You didn't care for money. You wanted
I didn't
experience.
care for money. Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make an impression so that he can, consider me for articles. So I said, you know what? It's fine. I'll do it for free. I don't mind. But at the end of the fact, he did
I was
pay
about
me.
to say the same thing. So I know, like, I also remember actually I had a similar situation. That lady didn't tell us that she didn't have money. She did say that this is a free thing. You're only going to get a certificate and experience, right? But at the end, because she was pleased with our work and stuff, I think it was for a week. Then she gave us 2,000 rand.
Yeah.
So sometimes when a person says they don't have money, maybe they're testing you. Or also maybe they don't have money at that time. But if you stick it through, by the time you're done, they would probably have enough,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So now you're in articles. How was that transition? How did you find it?
I think I'm one of the 1% or 2, whatever.
We had a soft landing.
Listen, soft life. I mean, we were not always cruising. My principal and I would, challenges would be there. We are in a working relationship.
So there will be challenges.
Exactly. But honestly speaking, that man made it so easy for me. I'm not even going to lie and say it was horrible. It was. I know people have really, really bad experiences during articles. But mine was very easy. I mean, he was guiding me through everything. He was so patient with me. He was so easy with me. I don't even remember a single time where he shouted at me. Not even once. Sometimes I would even miss deadlines and we just talk about it, So I really, really had a smooth 2 years. I did my articles.
So you only had one principal and you did like one area of law throughout your articles?
It was not one area of law, but it was one principle. It was under one principle.
Okay, so
we do your labor.
how was your experience with working with other directors? Because with me, like my actual principal, amazing. Actually, like so amazing. Like I felt the same and everything. He's never at any point shouted at me and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I had to go to other departments, he's still my principal, but now I'm working with other directors.
Yeah.
I did experience a bit of harshness where I'm like, ooh, is this
a
how the
shocker.
profession is?
Yeah.
But also eventually you understand that it's a work environment. People are on business, so they want to stand on their business. So sometimes your behavior does impact the amount of money that goes in. So they will be a little bit harsh and stuff, right? So, okay, fine, you enjoy your articles. As a person who enjoyed their articles, a person would expect you to stay and practice. Why do you then tap out?
Practice is hard, guys.
Okay.
Practice is hard. And I think because it's not easy, you must really have the passion for it. You must really love it.
You must have a big why. There must be something driving you.
There must really be that drive. And I mean, with me having done LLB because my maths was not mathing,
I'm not patient.
no, I don't have that big why. I'm just being honest.
Sure.
So I don't really have the passion for practice. I don't love it that much. And because it was really hard, I was finding it really hard. I was like, let me look for alternatives because this thing is just not.
It's not it.
It's no, it's not it.
When did you get that that light bulb moment where you're like, no, this is not it. This doesn't work for me.
Yeah. And while doing my articles, because I would go to court, I would go to the CCMA, I would appear, there was always that thing inside that was saying, maybe this is, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to go enroll for my master's. There was always that thing that was saying, I don't think this is for me, hey?
Okay.
But at that point, it was not really. And I think because I was just starting out, it was, my first 2 years of working. And then I get admitted, I become an associate, and that year, I think that 1 year was the year where I was like, no, I don't think
it's not it.
It is, because now I'm an associate. Now you're doing the real
the
stuff.
actual work.
Yeah,
you can't push it to someone else.
Exactly.
You have to account for everything.
You have to account for it. It's you now. Everything ipege wena. So
Sure.
you have to. So I think that's where I was like, no,
it's not gonna work.
this is not gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, when you realize that it's not gonna work, did you know your options outside being an attorney and an advocate? What made you start applying at other in-house roles? How did you know you wanted to do something in-house and you could possibly get it?
I was not looking for anything specific. I mean, I knew about the different type of roles that I could apply for, but at that point, I was not really looking for anything specific. Anything that was in-house. I was in the employment law department. So mainly I was looking at your IR position, maybe labor law specialist, but in-house, something like that. But then I was applying for everything.
And anything.
When a legal advisor, everything,
Sure.
I was even applying for compliance. I don't even now, I don't have a compliance certificate or anything.
Yes, I also want us to go into that as well.
I was just applying for anything, honestly, because I just wanted to get out of practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then how long did you apply until you got an in-house role?
It wasn't long,
It wasn't long.
It wasn't long because I started actively applying. Could have been around October, November, somewhere there, towards the end of the year. I don't remember the exact month, but it was towards the end of the year. That's when I started actively applying. Applied, and then January came and I had not been called for an interview, nothing. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just stop. At some point, I stopped applying for a whole month. I stopped, and then I went back. So I think it was like for maybe 5 months where I was just applying without getting anything. And then I eventually got called for an interview in March, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, I remember. I think it was March.
Yeah.
Because I was getting done with my articles and you were also starting your new job.
Yeah.
Okay, that is great. So then when you were applying for, right now you're a compliance officer, right?
Legal and compliance.
Legal and compliance.
Yeah.
Okay. So that role, what are the requirements? Because I do believe that we need to sort of dismantle the misnomer that every single person needs to be an attorney.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through the trauma.
No.
And if you realize, all of us, we realize like, guess she's a Muslim. And I feel like we all don't have to go through that. I think sometimes people must from university level know at inception to say, you know what? The end goal, I want to be a compliance officer. I don't need to go through the stresses of being admitted, whatever the case may be, because whether you like it or not, it does come with some stress. It comes with some sort of trauma because the nature of training to become a lawyer is not easy. Even the profession itself, you could be in one of the most beautiful environments and still struggle as a lawyer because it's not easy. It's not that easy.
Exactly. I remember, if I can just tell a story there. When I was in second year, our constitutional law lecturer, she had this NPO thing that I was part of, and we would talk about what you want to do, and she was a lecturer, so she never did articles, and she was saying, I knew from inception that I don't want to be a lawyer, I don't want to go in corporate, I just want to be an academic.
Sure.
So I think it's important that you say people need to know from inception. So with the role that I'm in now, admission is not a requirement, although most companies, with most of the job adverts that I've seen, they put that you must be admitted. I think it's just an added advantage.
Yes,
So
but
it's
not a
not
requirement. So
yeah.
guys, do apply for compliance roles,
Please
even if
do.
you're not admitted, especially if you don't want to go through the attorney route or the advocacy route. I highly recommend that you go in with those roles of compliance. And
Yeah.
so there's even a certificate. I think the University of Cape Town is offering a certificate, which is like under 3 months. It's like you finish it within a couple of weeks. If it's
Yeah.
8 weeks or so, it's done. You have your certification and you keep it
Yeah,
moving.
even UJ has it, but in
Yes.
UJ I think it's 6 months.
Yeah.
Even vets, I mean, most universities have it. So if people can just Google, they'll find that information. But you don't have to be admitted. It's
Okay.
just an added advantage, but it's not a requirement
Okay.
per se.
So what are the main requirements?
So you just need to have your LLB, of course, some years of experience, depending on, the seniority of the role. If it's just junior, then you don't have to be, 5 or whatever post-admission experience. So yeah, I think just have your LLB, honestly.
Okay, have your LLB and give it a shot.
Just have your LLB and give it a shot.
Okay.
If you are able to do your compliance certificate, that would be great. It's just 6 months, even
Okay.
less with other
But
institutions.
when I get you're God's favorite kid, you don't have a
Listen,
compliance
Mina, I
certificate.
pray, honey.
You just have your LLB. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love your journey, and I love that you're honest with yourself to say the environment was great, but I figured out this is not for me,
Yeah.
and this is not the path I want to go in, and I don't have passion for it. Because many times we like keeping appearances because you want to be known as that practicing
Exactly.
lawyer
Yeah.
in the society, but sometimes we don't realize how damaging it can be. You know. So yeah, thank you so much for your honesty and also being willing to share your journey honestly as well, to say, you know what, I've failed, I've done this, but I've actually pushed myself through.
Yeah.
Then now you go into your masters. What is the driving force behind your masters? Is it net for dating?
For aesthetics.
You guys out here getting belts on belts for aesthetics. Good that I like.
So with my masters, honestly, when I enrolled for my masters, it was because I knew deep down, I knew that I'm not going to stay in practice for
Okay.
long. So I was just doing my masters, for that added advantage when I apply for in-house roles to
Okay.
say, I have a master's, guys, please consider me.
I have extended experience or
Yes,
knowledge in this subject.
So I think that was mainly why I did my master's. And why I did it in labor law. Labor law was my highest mark in final year.
Okay.
So I considered that number one. And also I was doing a lot of labor law during articles. And I fell in love with it. I really love labor law. I still love it now. If I was to get a role, an in-house role.
Okay. So you're never going back to practice?
No, never.
It's a set decision. No amount of money can buy you in.
No.
Okay.
No,
I love
and
that.
there are those family members who are like, when are you opening your own law firm?
Like, no, honey.
It's not coming, guys.
It's never gonna happen. Okay,
No, I'm not going back to
hear
practice.
That. So, what does a day of a compliance officer within your line of work do? Like, what does your day look like? What is it that you do? What time do you start and what time do you knock off?
Okay. Also, if I can just mention before I go into that, so compliance differs with the type of company that you work for.
Okay.
So if you're working for an insurance company, it's going to be different. If you're working for a car dealership, it's going to be different. For a bank, it's going to be different. I work for a betting company, so it's obviously different from
everybody else.
So it depends on the type of company that you work for.
Okay.
So I work for a betting company. So how my day looks like, I go to work.
What time do you start?
So we've got flexi hours. So I can go to work at any time as long
12
as
p.m.
not that late. Not that late.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got flexi hours. So you just need to make sure that you reach your hours. But I mean, you can pretty much be at
How
work
many hours are you required to be working?
Is it
like in a day?
Is it 8?
Oh,
like
you have to put in your 8 hours.
Yeah, your normal 8 hours.
All right.
Yeah. So I go to work and I open my emails. So the other part of my job is dealing with players' complaints.
Okay.
So when players come and complain and threaten to take us to court.
When you say players, soccer players or gamblers?
No, gamblers.
Yeah, okay.
So we call them players.
Oh, okay.
Not soccer players, guys. Yes, gamblers, but
Yes,
players. Yeah.
Yes, for the former word.
Yes. So one of the aspects of my job is, dealing with complaints from our players, those that will come threatening to take us to court. I have to. So yeah, some days I'll go into work, open my emails, and I find that there's a complaint from a player. I have to attend to that. I also deal with escalations from the call center where now it's complicated and they need a legal opinion on that.
Okay.
I deal with that. And because we're an accountable institution, we're regulated by FICA. So I've got to make sure that we are FICA compliant.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever the FIC is requiring us to do, I just have to make sure that we comply with that. When we receive fraud reports from the bank, because sometimes money will come into a betting account and then you find that this is actually a fraud, someone's card was stolen or their phone was stolen or anything like that. I've got to deal with those fraud reports and chargebacks and
Okay. Do you
So
guys
I work
draft?
closely with the banks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you draft?
Yeah,
Okay. What do you
Contracts.
draft?
So-
Contracts. Okay.
because we sponsor like TV shows, we sponsor your soapies, we sponsor
You guys can
A lot
sponsor
of-
Employment Wednesdays.
Peach, babes.
Okay. God.
Peach. So when we are sponsoring a TV show or anything like that, we've obviously got to have an agreement in place. So that is what we'll draft. If it's coming from their side, we obviously have to review.
Okay.
So then I'll do that. Yeah, or our game suppliers. We have contracts with them. You obviously have to review, and other suppliers, even if it's not, we've got quite a lot of suppliers because there's a lot that goes on in there. So obviously if you have a supplier, there has to be a contract in place. So we review that.
That's
If we have
great.
to draft, then we draft that. But there really isn't a lot
There
of...
isn't too much drafting.
Yeah,
like
there
it
isn't too
is in
much
practice.
drafting. Yeah, like
Okay.
it is in practice.
So it's more flexible.
It's more
compared
flexible.
to practice.
Yeah, very flexible.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't work on weekends and I don't have
You
to
don't
work
get after
until
calls.
late at
Okay.
night.
Of
I mean,
course, you're normal.
Of course, I'm normal, honey. I go work at 8 and leave at 4 like normal
Of
people.
course, you're gymming and stuff because you have capacity.
Yes.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
So about Patela Shop.
Hey.
Okay, well, you don't have to tell me, you in particular. The next thing about Sabatom sponsor, because you said about Patela Shop. But like when a person is looking at a role of becoming a compliance officer,
Yeah.
what amount are they looking at on average?
I mean, it depends also. Like if it's a junior role, obviously it's going to be less. If it's mid, then if it's, But yeah, the pay is good, guys. It's really
What is
good.
good?
You want me to give you a range?
Yes, a range. You don't have to tell me your salary, guys. I see salary, but
No, it's not mine.
like an average, like if a person is, so that they're motivated to actually apply, if
Yeah.
they want to apply in the betting industry, what could they possibly look at, especially if they want to go into a big company?
Okay, so I'd say, I'd say I'm not really entry level because
You're
I've got
mid-level.
some. I mean, I'm admitted. I've got post admission experience, so I'd
And
say.
Unama masters.
So I'd say at my point, you're looking at, let's just say, 40 minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, your minimum is 40.
Gross.
Yeah, gross.
Okay, that's not.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's actually it's good.
Yeah, so-
Nobody patela sharp.
So minimum 40. If range, let's just say,
Okay, we
40
can say
to 8.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe 35 plus.
Yeah,
Yes,
35 plus.
plus. Okay, that's a decent.
Yeah, it's very
amount.
decent.
Yeah.
It's very decent. But obviously, if it's entry level, straight out of varsity, you cannot expect.
What 35? Maybe what 20.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Yeah, and then you progress.
And then you progress.
Okay, so when you get promoted from here, what do you get promoted to?
So from now, I'm just a legal and compliance officer. So from here, it's going to be senior legal compliance officer,
okay.
and then legal and compliance
Do you work with
manager.
anyone?
Yes, I work with. I report to the head of legal
okay.
and compliance.
Okay,
So
so it's
I've
just
got a
the two
boss.
of you. It's just you and then your boss.
So it's my boss, it's me, and then
Or you have
juniors.
somebody else that is reporting to you?
They are juniors, yeah. We've got
okay.
2 juniors. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
is interesting. Okay. And yeah, I think that's all. Is there anything extra that you want to tell people that are looking into going into a role, what they can do to actually better their options of applying?
Just apply, guys. I mean, also with the role that I'm in now, when I applied, I didn't even meet the requirements, by the way.
Sure.
They wanted 2 years post-admission experience.
And you had one.
I only had 1, but I was like, I'm applying.
Oh, and just place on LinkedIn. We highly recommend LinkedIn here because that's how you got the job.
Yeah, I
ne?
applied through LinkedIn. I saw the ad on LinkedIn. Then I saw the requirements. I'm like, I don't meet the requirements, but I'm applying.
Okay.
And also, if you are actively looking for jobs, on LinkedIn, there's an easy apply option where you upload your CV on LinkedIn, and then when posts appear on your timeline, you can just click easy apply.
Yes, and then it goes
So you
through.
don't have to go through the admin of entering your degree, how many years of experience do you have, and all that.
Okay.
No. So yeah, also how I applied for this job, it was through the easy apply option. So I just saw the post, went through everything, then I just clicked the easy apply. I'm like, I don't meet the requirements, but sizabona phambili.
Okay, no, that's good. It's always important to give yourself a fair chance.
Exactly.
Don't
yeah.
disqualify
Don't
yourself.
disqualify yourself. I was falling short of only 1 year.
But you
in
had
my head,
something.
I had something, yeah. So I was like, I have something. What's the worst that could happen?
Are your juniors admitted as attorneys or?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
all admitted as attorneys. But like I said, it's not a requirement, guys. So don't say because I'm not admitted,
Then you're
I'm
not
not
gonna
gonna
apply for it.
No, I know a lot of people who are not admitted who
but
are in
into
compliance
compliance.
roles. Yeah, and they're doing very, very well.
Okay.
So if you know that practice is not practice is hard, guys. Yeah.
It's traumatic, guys. I haven't said with anyone who says, yeah, it's easy.
No, it's hard. And even if, like for me, the work environment was okay, but hey,
Kuning.
Yeah.
Sifunde kakhulu.
Sifunde kakhulu. So you don't really have to go through all that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are not admitted. They didn't have to go through articles and all that, but they're
doing well.
They're doing very well. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. Thank you so much for your insight. This season, what would you call this season of your life? Describe it in a sentence.
Everything I prayed for.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Love to hear that. Love to see
everything I
that.
prayed for. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody at home that is looking to improve their career, get an opportunity, some word of encouragement to them before we close?
What, students or people who are...
Everyone, no about the opportunity, because our community is different ages. So if a person is just looking to elevate in their career or in their lives.
I mean, just push through, guys. If you're studying, just focus on your studies. Just apply. If you're looking for jobs, just continue applying. And yeah, I think just pray. If you are a Christian, just pray. I believe in prayer. I mean, I pray about everything.
And anything.
And anything. So yeah, just pray. Just make sure that you keep your head up. Stay motivated and just do what you got to do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for honoring
Thank you
this
for
invite and for
having
coming
me.
here. I learned quite a lot, and thank you so much to everybody at home. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And happy Employment Wednesdays. Always remember, you are not alone. You are gracefully anchored. All the best.
Thank you.
Cheers.